Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a slab plate with a rim. In a previous video I showed how to take a slab and raise the edge slightly to create a slab plate. In this version, start with a slab that you make anyway, put it on an absorbent bat, smooth it out, and then score the edge as you've already seen here. Then you want to roll out a coil, score that, and join the coil to your slab. I start by tapping it in place, and then I go around and pinch to really get it joined. It's very important to do this step carefully so that you don't have any problems later. Then you can begin spinning your wheel and joining it more and compressing that coil down. The next step is to compress again with a wet sponge, really pressing pretty hard here. After you have it compressed with your sponge, you can clean up any excess water, and the next step will be to use a rib. I'm going to start lightly shaping it, but I'm still more concerned at this point about making sure that the coil is joined to the slab. This is going to be a flat bottom plate with no foot ring, but it's a really nice style. It's great for serving food. It's great for kids because they can push food up against the rim. So after I have it joined, I start shaping the rim. It's just a small pull up, turn it to the side if you want, and then do some further refining with your rib. I'm using a wooden rib for this, and then flattening out the bottom, and that's basically it for throwing. After throwing, I remove the plate and the bat from the wheel head, cover it with plastic, and let it dry until it's leather hard. When it can support itself, I bring it back to the wheel head, center it, and begin trimming. With this style, you don't need to do much trimming, but it's a good idea to pay attention to the wall and the rim to make sure that everything is even and looks just how you want it. I start by beveling and then removing a bit of clay from the vertical wall. After that, I will pay attention to the rim. One more little bevel there. And then I'll carefully go over the bottom just to make sure there aren't any flaws. After trimming, you want to clean up with a damp sponge or a soft rib like I'm doing here that removes any tool marks and closes the pores on the clay. The next step is to let it dry again. I do this under plastic so that it doesn't warp. Once the piece is bone dry, then I sign it and it's ready to load in the bisque fire. After bisque firing, it's time to glaze. I typically do a two-step glazing process of a clear glaze and a white glaze. What you're seeing here is the second coat, the white glaze. So I stir up the glaze, make sure it's completely mixed, and then I just pour it over in a kind of steady motion, trying to get everything. And there's the last bit there where my fingers were holding it. I pour some glaze there and clean it up with a brush if needed. There is some unevenness in my glazing process, but that brings out kind of the glaze results that I'm looking for in my pottery. Just getting a little bit of glaze on the bottom side, wiping away any excess, and then once again a light cleanup with a brush. In this situation, I just want to make sure that the glaze application is relatively even, but like I said, there will be some variation, and I'm looking for that. Final step, just use a damp sponge to clean any glaze from the bottom. You can see it's a big flat bottom for this style of plate. And if there's any flaws, as there was, I maybe knocked some glaze off here. I'm just kind of adding on a little bit of glaze to even it out again, using some of the kind of paste-like dried up glaze from the lid to help me fill in the spot. Once you have your piece glazed, I would let it dry overnight, load it in a glaze kiln, and it's ready to fire. And then here are the final results. This is a really fun, pretty easy style of plate. It's great for beginners, it's great for advanced. You could do a lot of decoration on this big flat surface. Like I said, I love serving food in this, I love eating out of it, and it's quick and easy to make with a slab. Thanks for watching.